Hello, it is Starlight Brigade, Adventures in Wildspace, and Mr. Death is going to do the summary of what happened last session, which was not like 45 days ago, so I'm sure he will just reel it off like that.
I love how quick that transition was.
Yeah.
No introductions today, just do it. Sure. All right. Well, last time, first of all, we were joined by a member of the group that was left behind somewhat due to inability to show up on a session before that. So, well, Balthazar, Solstice, and Zero spent some time doing pretty much nothing of importance, just hanging around in the lobby, just happy to be a part of the team and happy to enter the Rich Rollers tables, at least, while Harmonia and O have set up pretty much everything we needed to succeed. Set us up for Lady Beryl Thornwood at the very beginning. That was O, while Harmonia basically got us like the army to storm the castle, or the casino, of course. So yeah, that happened pretty promptly after the initial, would you even call it, socializing at the tables. So we were just waffling about for a bit, and then suddenly everything exploded as the...
Remind me why everything exploded. Who was indirectly or directly responsible for the exploding?
Well, I mean, initially...
Don't try and side wiggle off camera.
Initially, that would be all Lady Beryl Thornwood's fault, I think. She was just very gung-ho and wanted to shoot things.
Remind me, who was Lady Beryl Thornwood?
I don't know, man.
Lord Thornwood's wife.
Yeah, that would be her.
The big takeaway for me from this session was, and I don't think we talked about it, is I put a poll in the chat for who would like Lady Beryl Thornwood to become part of a crew and who thought she was a gimmick and thought she should fuck off. One of you voted that she should fuck off, and then when we saw how the tide was turning, quickly removed their emoji. But I'd already seen it. I'd already seen everything.
Yeah,
Did you remove it?
Somebody, one amongst you did not care for the Thornwoods.
Oh, I know who it was. I just didn't know he removed it. I haven't seen it after.
It's because he's gonna murder her in her sleep now, I think.
Well, I know. Okay. Yeah, so after the initial blow-up that was by Lady Beryl Thornwood, Lord Thornwood's wife, and Solstice's gun was involved in that, and malfunctions as well. It was all very haphazardly thrown together into the mix, and then we had an insurrection on our hands. Or, I mean, it was to the side, really. Like, we didn't take much part in it from that point onwards. The fire elemental, no, an Ifriti, right? It was an Ifriti. Yeah, and a bunch of fire thingies. Those might have been elementals. Have stormed the casino, started fighting, although the bouncers have mostly still targeted us for some reason for quite a good amount of time. I have no idea why they would do that. We managed to dispatch the automatons via pushing and pulling and teleporting them towards the tables. So that was all very, very tactical from our side. Surely worth many points of XP. After that, we have solved many horribly hard riddles that led us to the helm of the ship.
Solved, do you say?
Yeah.
I feel more like struggle
sure
to not solve.
I mean, I'm not taking away from your glory. In Mr. Big's office. So yeah, there were portraits involved and safes, and all those have been dispatched. And then in all our glory, with shards of glass flying everywhere, we've made our escape.
You have.
Very daring and dashing, mostly dashing, via the use of action dash. Made our way to the exit, then there were some slight problems right at the very end.
Oh yeah, who couldn't get out? Wasn't it you?
It might have been.
Yeah, you were just unable to get out for the longest time. But yes, everybody is out with the spell jamming helm crystals and a bit of extra booty. You may.
With my closing remarks, I would like to claim that even though the heist was a complete success and we have gotten what we came for, ultimately our biggest reward was certainly friendship of Lady Beryl Thornwood, Lord Thornwood's wife, who's now part of the crew via unanimous voting.
I'm just waiting for the moment she was the big bad. She infiltrated the crew. She has been your Vasily this whole time. Excellent. Good,
I really
thank you.
hope none of my cosplayers are watching after you just said that.
Said what? Said what? You can give yourself an inspiration for that excellent summary. And I'll take us through to the Rock of Brawl. So, you leave the allure, finding yourself back on the streets of the Rock of Brawl. You head back to Commodore Crux's house, and the music hasn't loaded, so I'm just going to go back to loading the Rock of Brawl. I unapologetically voted against them. What a monster. Yeah, most of you left your weapons, as you not, in his house. So you go and recover those. What do we want to do? We'll RP it out as we're back in his very, very ramshackle home. And he's holding these series of gems up to the light and is asking how it all went. I imagined that it would be a similar recount to the session summary you just gave.
Went completely fine.
Swimmingly.
It's like, and who is this woman who you now bring with you?
This is Lord Thornwood's wife.
I've never heard of him or her. And as a reminder, Commodore Crux does not have that parrot with him. The parrot belongs to Large Luigi. So you have done admirably finding my control crystals. We can, of course, be setting off just as soon as we go to my ship and reactivate it. Then I'll need to find some sort of crew beyond yourselves. And then we can be making our way and try and recover your planet. And now it is you, who are clickety-clickety very loudly. Not I who is clickety-clickety.
Impossible.
Impossible. So yeah, the Commodore goes to pick up his tankard and take a big swig, but you see he sort of lifts it, he looks at the jewels that are now on his table and hesitates and just put his tankard back down. And he's like, so, we will head to Doomspace once we disembark. You have heard of Doomspace?
No.
It is a very uncharted part of a sector. It is where
Is the name fitting?
Yes,
Doom Space?
very much so, but it is where the resistance are based. And it is the resistance who will have the means to take the fight back against the Empire and maybe help your little planet before it is strangled to dust. Do you need time to rest, or shall we set off now?
Would we not be able to rest on the way?
Yes, but getting our ship out of the docks when there are many who consider it to be impounded, there could potentially be a ruckus or a scrap or an affray or two. So it is entirely up to you and how rambunctious you're feeling.
I mean, I could do with a nap, and also I've got to fix my guns. They're like, I picked them up and they're just kind of sparking a little bit.
I'm plumb
expecting that
tuckered
we should
out.
have
I could do
time
with
to-
the rest.
I mean, I could use a rest as well. Although my worry is that now that we've done all that in the casino, Mr. Big will probably need some time to get everything under control. But once he does, he will know, surely, that we have taken the crystal.
It is very likely.
Is it likely that we have time to wait overnight, or do you suggest merely a break?
I think you could afford to rest the night. It is somewhat unlikely that he would travel all the way here in that time. Remember, the casino was not on the rock.
Indeed.
Right.
Well, a longer rest would suit me best, but whatever is best for the team.
Yeah, then maybe we could hit the compound in the morning, just at dawn. If the
Well,
as much as dawn counts on the rock.
Yeah, it's always sunny in Rock of Brolfia. I can send messages to a couple of trusted members of my crew. Have them meet us there. We shouldn't need too many. A slight complication is that I do not know the way to Doomspace. So we will make a stop off at a friend of mine. She is a cartographer. She will have maps and knowledge of the system, and she can direct us on our way.
How is her sanity?
She's a little topsy-turvy at times, but mostly fine. Why do you ask?
I find they usually are.
Then take your rest. I will stand guard tonight. Need to sober up. There's a lot to be done.
Balthazar, if I might. I have been analysing our fight from before we entered the casino, when we encountered some Xerixian troops in the streets. It comes to my attention that you sustained quite a significant amount of damage. If you like, I believe that I can improve your armor with some upgrades that might be useful.
I mean, I'm never going to say no to more protection for myself. That way I
Excellent.
can more easily protect others as well, so...
If you can provide me your armor, I shall have it ready by the time of the morning.
Not a problem.
Oh. I also noticed that you were having some trouble in that conflict as well. Again, if you can give me your armor or clothing, I can infuse it with a significant upgrade.
O is currently some sort of weird quadrupedic dog creature who's munching on an almost meatless bone, and they turn to you and kind of revert back from wild shape. Armor?
Yes.
I wear armor? Question? Oh, clothing. And they basically like out of some really old, tattered hide.
Perfect. Zero will accept that, and while the others start to go to sleep, he will infuse those items.
How long did it take? Can you do 2 in one night?
Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch a non-magical item. It says an, actually, so maybe I can do 1.
I could probably do with an armor upgrade anyways. Did we get any gold from that heist?
8,000.
No, you could have got
Can
lots
infuse
of
more
gold.
than 1 item per rest.
Oh, cool. Nice.
So yes, can do all of them. It's when we finish our long rest. So I'll leave it until we are satisfied that we haven't been ambushed.
Yeah. So, well, Commodore just sort of turns his chair to face the door, pulls it up, and just sort of sits with his rifle resting on his knee, facing the door, and just humming a low, somewhat soothing song under his breath for the duration of the rest. You can set a watch up if you want, or if anybody wants to make conversation with anybody, now is the time, or you can just sleep the night through. It is entirely up to you.
O would very much like to spend some time with this strange amulet turned into staff contraption that they found. And kind of like, at some point, like, they engulf it, and the stuff kind of like goes into the body. And then they're kind of like carrying it around. Support. I like it. And they attune to the staff of the woodlands.
Horrifically. Yeah. Excellent.
If
Yeah,
you
are
allow, I'm happy to consider holding it, having it incorporated into
Sure.
the body. But I
Yeah,
might
yeah.
pull it out from time to time to like smack someone with it.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, we can say that you are internally wielding the staff. Absolutely. Anything else that anybody else wants to do, or conversations we want to have?
I'll grab Lady Beryl Thornwood, wife of Lord Thornwood, and just be like, "All right, come with me here. We'll go find ourselves someplace to bed down." Since she's probably just standing there looking real awkward.
No, quite the opposite. She's looking
No.
infused.
Oh, okay.
She is looking. She's excited by this.
Are we
Also,
about to
remind
get- are
me
we-
remind me what you decided to call your dog.
Rocky.
Rocky. Is Rocky here in the Commodore's house with you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Where else would he be? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure if he might be ruling over the rock by now. Okay.
Solstice would like to fix his guns carefully, over a wee bit, so not causing mayhem. But I'd also like to make an attempt from like the scraps that I have to put together like a small cantrip pistol for Lady Beryl.
The parts that you've got. Oh, you have. Yeah. You got some bits, didn't you? Some arcane roughage or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
What sort of pistol are you looking to make for her?
I guess something that casts like firebolt or something.
A very, very basic.
Yes.
How do you see? So, do you have any sort of tinker's tools, or how did you make yours originally?
Well, I have like a kit, that's all like a leather satchel that unrolls and sorts of tools and bits of weird things that you don't know what they are, like small metal pyramids with runes on them and other things that are like look like lockpicks, and then like scraps of metal pipes and stuff. So what I'm thinking it would look something like a pipe rifle fallout, something really, a wooden block with a piece of plumbing in it basically and a trigger on it.
Okay. What sort of check do you see being involved? Is that something that's listed in? Is this part of your background or your toolkit, or are we going completely off-road homebrew here?
I think it's more off-road home.
Yeah. If you've got so we know you've got the means because you made your own. If you believe you have enough equipment and bits on you, or enough gold to supplement some of that, we could say you nip out to a shop and pick up a few essentials. You've got 36 gold. I would say this is something you've done before. Make me an intelligence check with advantage, DC 16. And if you succeed, you can successfully make a rifle with, we'll say with 10 gold's worth of materials, if you're happy with that.
Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Ability check.
Oof. You keep working away. You encounter some complications with it. You don't destroy any of the components, but you get to a point where you just haven't got it sorted yet, and morning is starting to approach. So you've worked through the night. You are able to try again. You haven't done yourself out of any components, but you haven't quite managed to get it working tonight. So each one assembles slightly differently based on the spell. So yeah, try again. But everybody except Solstice, then, if he's worked through, give yourself a long rest. Solstice, you can take a short rest just through catch and breathers throughout the work.
I'm also going to use the right tool for the job, to craft myself some thieves' tools. So can you give me some, please?
Yes.
I'd like to think that O and C3 are working together on the thieves' tools, as they have some crafty looking ones that be inspired by and make better.
I have put those in your bag, Zero.
So Zero will approach also each of them separately to give them their newly infused armors.
Balthazar, this upgrade to your armor should allow you to resist the damage from the Xerixian weapons.
It is resistant armor, and it is going to give him radiant resistance.
Nice.
I will send that to you. I've created it as if it was like a socketed upgrade, so just make sure you've got both your regular armor and that infusion equipped, and you should automatically get the
nice.
The resistance.
You hear on the radio, on the wireless, Zero picked up an urgent Xerixian transmission. Set all phases to necrotic.
For you, I have something a little bit different. This armor should now help you to improve your concentration.
Oh, that is wonderful.
I've sent a request for that. So again, you want to make sure you've got that equipped and your regular armor. And I think it's something like 4 times a day. You can just choose to pass a concentration check when you fail.
I don't have anything for you at this moment.
Don't worry, this is not an exchange of gifts, but merely an upgrade to our team. Go team! Perhaps we should have a team name. Why don't you think about that?
Confused face on the mask. X eyes face on the mask.
That's the end of that interaction.
You see in the morning as well, Lady Beryl has torn off the sleeves and part of her dress and seems to be roughing it a bit. She's torn her strip off and tied her hair back. She has a new look, although, and she's now going by Lady Beryl. She's dropped the Thornwood. The tattoos are not there. That's the closest art I could get. But she's tied her hair up. But she seems to be thrilled about her new life as a spacefaring adventurer. I couldn't find one with her wearing a red shirt, unfortunately. So yeah, the Commodore looking around, everybody looking more rested. Is like, nobody came by during the night. I think we still have a head start. I've prepared some simple food for us to break fast, but nothing more than a bit of hardtack and space berries before we continue. Best to be off quick. We can be at my friends in 3 days if we keep a good pace. Is everybody ready?
Let's boogie.
I beg your pardon?
Let's
It's
boogie.
it's not the time. I've just said we have urgent business to attend to.
Oh, like boogie on out of here.
I'll lead the way. And yeah, Commodore takes a bit of a look around his place before you leave. Takes quite a few things. You can tell it seems that he perhaps doesn't expect to be returning anytime soon, and clears the place out quite a lot. Balthazar, I think you would probably notice more than the others that he does not take any of his alcohol. It's all left on its table in the corner. And yeah, you set off down the street. It'll take around 10 minutes for us to get to the dock. And he pulls a thing out of his pocket. Has a little, looks like a little matchbox. It's like, 10 minutes. And puts it back in his pocket. And starts leading the way.
Commodore,
Yes!
what was that little doohickey you got there?
I'm setting a timer.
With the little matchbox you got there?
Mm-hmm. Come. And yeah, he sets off, leading you towards a different part of the docks to what you've seen previously. A bit further down. Eventually, you find yourself coming to a... Where are we? A slightly similar galleon to the Moon Dancer, although there are a couple of differences. Blue sails. Well, here we go. I'll give you a description. Stately galleons, sleek cutters but resemble flying fish, and warships built to look like hammerhead sharks line the docks of Brawl. Commodore Crux waves his arm towards a craft that seems modest by comparison. The ship's sails are patchworks of blue mended canvas, whilst its hull seems barely held together by thick vines that bind it like rope. Its strangest feature is the full-grown tree that sprouts from the cabin. The second wind, Commodore Crux declares pridefully. Isn't she something? Isn't she something, I said.
Quite marvelous.
Most impressive.
Is it it's really interesting with the tree there in the middle on a ship.
Yes. I wouldn't have it any other way. 2 of my crew should already be on board. And he sort of walks down, and you see that it looks mostly deserted on the docks. It's still early. Most of the ships don't have gangplanks, but he gets to the end and gives a whistle, and gangplank comes down. You see a bit of a hooded figure at the top, pushing it out, feeding it down. And the Commodore just sort of holding his gun quite low, looking down the jetty towards where you've come from. Come on, you all on first.
All right, I'll stroll on.
And he will sort of peer down the pier and walk up after you. On the deck of the ship, the hooded... Yes.
Can I insight check the Commodore? Are we stealing the ship?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I'd say you see that he doesn't seem to be rushing. He just seems to be concerned with what's happening nearby. He has, after all, had this impounded. But you see that the way he's looking around, it isn't like a scoping up a place. He's clearly familiar with it, sort of running his hand up the rails as he's walking up and thinking. You're confident that this is a ship he is very, very familiar with.
Okay.
Thank you, Arda. And the figure sort of peers out from underneath her hood. Well, when you told me how much coin you were willing to give me, I didn't feel I had much choice in the matter. These are your newest crew. You're a very odd-looking lot, aren't you?
Thank you.
We are crew.
You look close enough to be free Kreen, but not free Kreen. What are you?
It's a rather personal question, considering we just met.
Seems irrelevant, more importantly.
But no answer forthcoming after that little quip.
No.
Very well. You're a plasmoid. I've seen one of you before. A GIF, and I'm not really interested in the other two. Very well.
Oh, I'm not a GIF. It's
You're
alright.
You're not?
Let's continue.
I see. This is going to be a long trip, isn't it?
You are missing a horn.
You see what?
You are missing a horn.
I am. Originally, when I was doing all my session prep, I thought it was cropped off the image, but no, it does seem to actually have been snapped off. A long occupational hazard. Travelling with this one as often as I have has left its mark. What do you all know about ships? Can any of you work?
I've spent some time working aboard spelljamming ships.
I'll be about as useful as tits on a bull.
No, do you know what? I'm gonna have her do I'm having her make it. No, a charisma save versus laughing despite herself. I see. Well, we'll find something else for you to do. Nobody rides along for free. I'll show you to your quarters. And
Quarters? Quarters? Oh, it turns to C3R. Our own quarters?
Well, it's for
Jeez.
free.
There's no stowing away on this ship, not for us at least.
Ooh.
Bones will be
Like the party parrot.
somewhere around here. And Starbow somewhere else. It is just going to be us for now. Between us we can control most of the ship's functions, and we're only going 3 or 4 days away, I'm told. Just don't.
Our Bones and Starbow.
Well, let me load you onto the ship.
Load me.
Let's have a look. So, I will say this is docked. We are docked on the rock here. Let me add in the newly styled Lady Beryl. And we have Fel Arda is here as well. Mm-hmm. As you're talking about who pray tell are Bones and Starbow, you hear a "Who indeed?" and a groaning like the decks are coming apart and the ship's breaking. A moment later, you catch a waft of lemon in the air, and you look up and see that the tree is actually leaning forward from on top of a cabin down towards you, and appears to be a large tree ant built into the top of the ship. Rooted in, he has no legs unlike this image, but he just sort of leans down and peers towards you all. It's like, new crew, eh? What can you do, crew?
I clean. I clean very, very well.
I specialize in maintenance, repairs, and general armory.
I hold the ship together with my roots, and I am the main defense for ship-to-ship combat.
What exactly do you contribute in such a combat?
You see, he sort of reaches slightly out of sight and just brings up two huge, wide wooden hands that are each hand between the mighty fingers. Each hand is holding 4 or 5 rocks that are easily the size of a cow. I throw rocks.
Excellent.
Very effective.
In an emergency, if the ship is failing, come to the deck, and I will throw you.
And are you Bones or Starbow?
I am Starbow.
Excellent.
Are those lemons?
Yes.
Now, this may be a bit of a personal question, but...
They are my children.
All right, you answered my question right there. Thank you.
Many have asked before. Bones. Bones. You realize it's more like a calling, and it sort of echoes down through the ship. And the door... One of the doors opens onto the deck. It's like, yes! What do you want? I'm busy, can't you see? A new crew!
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Bones.
Yes! I believe you're to be setting sail with us!
Indeed. And what is your role aboard this ship? Are you the helmsman?
Indeed! Quiet, you boob! I am the Spelljammer! Also the cook. And the medic, which some find concerning, but I assure you I was a fantastic physician in life.
Well, if you need assistance, I am able to help with both cooking and medicine.
Marvellous! I dislike the cooking. People do not like how my fingers leach into the broth, so you will take over cooking now.
Excellent.
Marvellous!
I think by this point in time, Balthazar will look towards Fel Ardra with a bit of an incredulous look. Well, I believe we'll fit in this crew much better than initially thought. It does seem quite odd, just as our own.
Do as you will. I have long been in it for the coin. It is the best way to be. Reliable enough,
I mean,
despite their oddities.
I just did not expect this after the initial judging glances we got from you.
Well, how would you describe your role? Quartermaster? Captain?
I was captain for a brief stint. I originally had leased this ship from the Commodore, but then, through debts he had, it was impounded little more than 3 days later. Unfortunately, the Commodore had spent my lease fee already in those 3 days. So, I remain, my owed amount increasing by 100 gold each day, which the Commodore assures me will be paid soon, on completion of whatever endeavour it is you have planned with him. I do believe he was hoping that you would perhaps turn his luck around with your raid on the casino. I imagine most of the gold in the coffers there originally belonged to him anyway. You get the sense that she is not fond of the Commodore, or anyone. You believe that she is there out of... it is a business transaction for her being there.
Right. A nuisance.
Is there any business that you wish to attend to before we pull off?
Do we have
I will
time for
conduct
business?
a brief check of the status of the ship, and other than that, I think we should be ready to go.
Yes, not business on the ship. There is no time to be going off and doing shopping. The guards or the laws, henchmen could be upon us at any time. You will have
it's
made...
already cleaning the barristers. Like, they've already
Nice.
started doing that.
Do I understand correctly from what the Commodore tells me that you've killed several Xerixian dignitaries in the park?
Almost exclusively in self-defense.
I am sure that they will see it that way. We should depart sooner rather than later then. I'll be in my quarters. She
Right.
heads off.
Can you show me where the cleaning supplies are?
I will! Follow me, my gelatinous friend! And yeah, Bones will show anyone who needs any sort of escort or tour around the ship.
Yeah, I'm gonna be just following him around.
Okay. What does everybody else want to do before we set off?
Balthazar will make his own tour of the ship. Just look around on his own. And
What are you all looking for?
I mean, just to get a better understanding of what the ship looks like.
Oh, okay, just like
How
a
many-
like a familiarization, not
Yeah,
looking for the
definitely.
thing.
Yeah, no. Nothing specific on Balthazar's mind, just getting to know the ship he's on. Like, how many levels does it have? Yeah.
It's relatively small and modest. There are two decks down. A lot of ships would have 4 at this point, but it's just 2. But it's quite there are quite a few cabins, but they are slightly smaller than you'd be used to. But there is enough for everybody to have their own bed and storage trunk and a thing of interest to them, like a painting easel or an armor mannequin, something like that. One doodad.
Do we have to unlock those, though?
No. There's enough crap in the brig that you can probably piece together whatever you want. But yeah, are we ready to depart after this? Excellent.
Just checking Rocky is with us. Because they don't have to talk.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't
I
have to.
can't remember if he had his own Rock of Brawl commoner. Mastiff. We'll say he's Mastiff. There we go. Mastiff. That can be Rocky.
Yeah, I'd like to think that whenever there's a bit of downtime, and Rocky would engage in passionate conversation. Like not now, but like for example, last night before resting, casting Speak with Animals up to attuning staff and.
Cool. Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely. What would you like to ask Rocky?
Oh, no, I'm not asking anything. I think we're mostly talking about. Well, I would ask him actually. You from where? Question.
Being limited to the intelligence of a dog, he's like, home.
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 You have family? Question.
I have family?
Family. Mother,
Family.
father, sister, son, brother. Where's family? Question.
Food?
Yes, and they go together and they find some food and they start eating.
He appears to be a creature of basic instinct. He likes the food. He likes food. He likes to play. He likes to be petted. Conversation immediately turns to these at any time. He is difficult to get into larger discussion than that.
That sounds perfect.
Last time we were on a ship, had we established what happens if you fall off the edge of a ship?
Yeah, so I think I did it in like a, hey, those of you who've been on Spelljammer ships would know. So, a Spelljammer ship is surrounded by a large bubble of air. And there's like two axes of it's surprisingly complex. What I'll do, if you put it in the Foundry channel, actually, I'll make all the journal entries on it public to you all so you can check. But essentially, if you fall off a ship, unless you are flung off with a huge amount of force, you will fall through, inside the air bubble until you go past the point of gravity, and then you'll start to fall back up, and you will go until you are just floating with this inertia off at the edge of the ship. It's absurd, and there's really complex mechanics on like when one ship rams another ship, how is the air bubble and the center of gravity distributed? So yeah, if you go off with force, you could break out of the air bubble and then you're doomed. But yeah, if you fall off, you're gonna
Sounds amazing.
Yeah,
I won't prepare Featherfall.
Yeah. Are we going?
Let's do it.
Excellent. The Commodore goes down to a very modest-looking helm in the bowels of a ship, and very carefully puts all of his other crystals back in. Bright blue crystals around the helm, which springs back to life. It's like, I'm almost tempted to control her myself. Just, it has been some time. Perhaps Bones. Yes, I think you should still be the one. Of course, it was never in doubt, Commodore. And he gets in and sinks back into the chair. It's like, yes, it's like a second skin, a third skin. And you feel like a shudder throughout the ship as it starts to come to life. Lady Beryl is very excited on the deck, sort of holding onto the rail, bouncing a bit about setting off on a space voyage. And the ship lurches out of the dock and begins to pull ahead.
Wow.
Yeah. The Rock of Brawl, slowly over the course of the next hour or two, falls behind and away. The Commodore adjusts the bearing. And yeah, you ramp up in speed a bit. And then pull off in earnest. And you feel that lurch of the ship as you pull off into Wildspace and begin to set off towards your destination.
Fast. It's very fast.
Once you've established, but that's cool, that's nice and fast, would any of you, for your comfort, like me to then remove the scrolling effect? If anyone does get a bit nauseous, tell me and I will absolutely change it. So, as we've pulled off, what are we all doing?
Zero, as I said before, will kind of conduct a bit of a tour of the ship, focused specifically on checking its wild space faring readiness, taking an inventory and making sure he knows what's where in terms of like supplies, where all like your food and ropes and all that kind of, mundane gubbins lives, checking for any ship damage, that kind of stuff.
Make me an intelligence check with advantage and your proficiency. As a summary of your experienced assessment of the vessel. 13. Okay. Through your thorough search, you identify that some of the cargo has been stored in a pretty bad, haphazard way. Heavy iron cargo has not been restrained properly, and you know for a fact your assessment is were the ship to take a heavy hit, this moving around inside would cause extra unnecessary damage. It should be moved slightly and fastened down. It's a task you're able to do by yourself in the space of about an hour. Do you do it?
100%.
Cool.
Don't even hesitate.
Roll me a d4. I will give the ship 4 temporary HP. On top of what its usual stats. You have shored up the defences of the ship. What is Balthazar doing?
Balthazar, at first, for sure, is just enjoying himself being just back on a flying ship. Just looking out, happy to be here, sort of trying to share some of the joy that Lady Beryl seems to be getting from this. I try to be more in the mood. And then he'd be keen to probably show Lady Beryl around the ship and also like try to teach her a thing or two just for some basic stuff, like I don't know, tying the ropes, adjusting them if there's things like that going on here.
Yeah.
And I mean, if any other basic activities that could be like taught in a few hours, he'll do that.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a tour guide in that sense, I suppose.
Absolutely. There is a notable difference in the Commodore as well. He is not unkindly, but he is barking orders. He is very much in his element. It's a feeling that you're familiar with, Balthazar. He is very much back in command and seems to be clearer-headed and has a bit more purpose than he seemed to have so far. He's been quite melancholy and in his cups before, but now he seems to be back on his feet and his orders are being carried out by those who know what he's talking about. Thelardra is not to be seen, but between Starbow, Bones McGee, and those of you who know what you're doing around a ship, things are going well. But yeah, you can give Lady Beryl a look around the ship and point out some basics. It's all terribly exciting.
Sure is. And it's really never stops being that way. I've been on many ships, and none of them are that much alike.
Have you been on any before that have had a tree person growing on?
No, see? It's always something new.
Absolutely amazing. Lord Thornwood will not be happy that I have run away. But I do not see how he will find me. He would never for a moment imagine that I would wear something so ghastly. But I'm essentially incognito. Is it liberating to be dressed so scruffy all the time, Balthazar?
I didn't think about it before. But I suppose you're really taking on that detective attire and attitude.
And do you see how I've even tied my hair up? Because it looks quite good for action, but truth be told, I did burn quite a significant amount of my fringe off in the casino, and this hides it wonderfully. Solstice says he's trying to make me a weapon. So the next time there's a ruckus, I shall be able to participate.
Yes,
Which I think will be exhilarating.
You've shown some aptitude towards it before. We can do some target practice around here as well.
So, I have a question. Most of the ruckus in the casino was against, and sort of glances over at Zero. I'm not quite sure how to say it, but not real people? Robots. Have you ever killed someone yourself, Balthazar?
Well, I mean,
is that not a question? Am I not supposed to ask a question like that?
No, it's all right. I mean, it's been only dozens, I believe.
One sailor to another. We can talk candidly, can't we?
Yeah, there's been quite a few deaths on my hands.
Goodness.
I mean, just these past few days, it's been quite a few elves that have stepped into our business.
Yes, you said. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the whole killing someone. If it comes to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a problem, I don't think.
I just don't think a lot of the people I know would want to associate with me if they know I have a rap sheet. So,
I mean, you might want to take it up with Solstice then. Maybe he can make something that would be...
Well, I was thinking I could just, shoot the weapons out of their hands, or maybe shoot them in the feet.
Well,
do you think... Or if we do come up against any pirates, I'll tell them that I'm not shooting to kill. So if they could just do the same.
I mean, the first thing sounded more optimal, I think, but there's a...
Shoot the weapons out of their hands.
Yeah, I mean, there's problems with that as well. It's typically a harder...
What if they don't have hands? O doesn't have any hands.
It's typically
Is that what you're saying?
Target to hit. And also, it's easy to miss, and then you hit them.
I think I'll be able to do it.
All right, yeah, sure. But you could just talk to Solstice and tell him to make you something that would work more as a stun gun or, I don't know, a confusing weapon.
I mean, any weapon can be confusing, can't it? I will... Solstice?
Yes, Lady Barrow.
Balthazar just had a wonderful idea about maybe making a different sort of weapon for me that I can use to not kill people, but instead make them wish that they've been killed, if that makes sense. More of a thinking woman's weapon.
A pacifist gun.
I could try and integrate some of the singularity in my sidearm, which is like the telekinetic one.
See, Balthazar, this is exactly what I was saying. Yes, I agree. That would be, if that's doable, I think that would be absolutely marvelous.
I think what would also help is I've been struggling to put this together, and I think it's because I've only ever made my own guns.
Of course,
I had that personal connection, so I think if
naturally
you have a token or a talisman or something personal to you, I can integrate.
It completes its journey. And holds out her diamond earring.
Okay, so I'll try and integrate that into the handle.
Oh my goodness, I could wield 2 and be just as much of a swashbuckler as you.
Do you want them to do the same thing?
Maybe one should kill people in case I needed to.
Good to know. I'll get started on the stun gun first.
Marvelous. A pirate's life really is for me.
You need a pirate name.
And she just...
It can't be Lady Beryl. It's not a very piratey name.
But then how will people know who I am and my standing?
You make your own standing as a pirate.
I shall ruminate on this.
You did want to go for incognito.
No, it doesn't really roll off the tongue. I'll think of something myself, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
Thank you, Balthazar. I've killed Gija. What's everybody else up to?
I'm back
Other
to being...
than regretting their choice of campaigns.
I'm back to being Balthazar, so that's an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even remember my recent former name.
Bartholomew, wasn't it?
Oh yes, that one.
Always definitely taking some of the cleaning supplies from Bones, but the way O cleans is really passionate, and as such, they would literally lift every nook and cranny, open every drawer, almost like clean within the sides of the books. So they're probably just what one could potentially say snooping around in just a very unaware manner.
Okay. The ship is beginning to look... Well, slowly, segment by segment, the ship is beginning to look the cleanest. I've got this really horrible image now, the way you described O's cleaning method, of her ending up being like that keyboard cleaning putty where she's just full of grit. She's
exactly
just
how
like
I imagined
grit and bits of hair, and you're like, oh no!
Yeah, that's exactly. But unlike the putty, it's kind of like a self-cleaning sort of surface. It's really amazing.
Yeah.
Except if it's food, then it probably ends up being integrated into
Disappears.
the body. Yes. But yeah, that's exactly. They have a talent. It's a real talent, and there is no nook and cranny that will stand the test of O.
It's kind of like cleaning with a
Lock
gelatinous
cabinets.
cube.
Excuse
Very
me.
good.
Wow, how dare you call her a gelatinous cube? That is offensive. That's a slur to her people. Their people.
So,
We have a proper culture. I'll have you know.
there are dozens of us. You spend your day working, familiarizing yourself with the ship. I will give you all... Well, is anybody actively not participating in learning the ship and doing things? Like, Harmony is the only person who has, like, zero ship familiarity, really. What has Harmonia been doing with her day?
I am shadowing Bones. Like, I am just following him around, and with him doing the helm stuff, like, I am just staring, sometimes a little too hard, but I'm obsessed. I'm particularly, like, she is so obsessed with how there's nothing behind his eyes. Like, she is only red of skeletons walking around, and he is just doing it, all bones on, just going. She's amazed.
Yeah. When he is in the helm, he just seems to be almost like... just like a medical skeleton. There's nothing like going on at all. He just sat there almost like... almost limp. But then occasionally just be like... Have you ever seen a meteor?
So there's gonna be a few times the first time he does that, like she's gonna like slowly get the courage to go up and real close and like try and poke a finger into the eye socket to see where it goes.
Unhand me! Your lack of manners are appalling!
Pardon me.
Do you want this ship to fly into a star?
You are just so fascinating. I apologize. What does if you don't mind me asking, what does keep your head up?
My incorruptible spirit.
That is just amazing. And how did you come to be manning a ship like this and missing your skin?
I did it all of my life, and then when I died, I forgot to stop.
That is
what path took you through life? You who decides to poke people in their eye sockets?
I do. I hope you will forgive me. Listen, sometimes I just don't got the good sense the gods gave a rock, but I am just fascinated by seeing this all happen. I mean, the space and astral and all of that I've read about.
Good grief, I don't have ears, and even that doesn't feel like it's enough. I'm sure you're very wonderful, but you're distracting me from extremely important business. Please attend to the desk, the top deck, the poop deck, if you will.
Yeah, right. You're busy. I'll go. Thank
Tremendously
you.
so.
Yes. Awesome.
Begone, you boob!
Okay, I'm going. I'll go.
And as you leave, you feel that the ship sort of smooths in its course a little bit.
All right, I'll head back up on deck. Then see what everyone else is up to.
You come to the point where, although obviously the passage of time is a watch-based thing when there are stars in every direction, but you start to approach what you would know to be evening. And people look more ready to settle down. The Commodore is like, we will of course keep sailing through the night, the benefit of an undead Spelljammer, but I will retire shortly and engage in some card games if anyone would care for a bit of social respite. Otherwise, you can bed down and we will pick back up in the morning. What do you think?
Oh, I'd love some cards. So will Bones not be joining us? He
has said that he will be busy. And the door to the spell jamming helm has been locked for the time being.
I understand.
Whatever convinced you were able to just poke somebody in the eye when they were working?
It was just a slip in my judgment. I was just so curious. I let it get the better of me.
He was a decorated naval officer.
Right.
You're very familiar. Then yeah, the Commodore settles down for an evening of playing cards, telling stories.
Zero is going to whip up an evening meal.
Ooh, what's he going to cook?
Depends what's, on the ship's stores. Zero did not bring any food with him. But he will prepare whatever, rations and barrels might be available.
There are a lot of potatoes.
Nice, it's potatoes.
Yep, a lot of potatoes. There is enough to make a passable ham and potato soup.
Nice. Yep, he
with mastiff flank.
No. I refuse. His hand folds in, and then out of it comes his little multi-tool, which is then going to take the shape of like a whisk or a knife as needed, and he's going to go ahead and start cooking that meal.
This is that Bender cooking arc.
Excellent.
All-purpose tool, baby.
Jim, what card games are we playing?
What cards do you have, you?
I have a standard 52 card deck with 4 suites.
Yep, you can play. Let's have a look. You can play Dragon Ante. You can play any solitaire or typical real world game. You can play Happy Families, Uno in Space, or Quiddler.
We have letter cards, common letter cards.
Sure.
Hell yeah, I'm playing Quiddler then.
You can do some card games for the evening.
Always not playing cards. They are doing charcoal drawings of the crew members, particularly Rocky, but also portraits of all of them in a little notebook they have.
Are there is there a ratio of 3-to-1 on Rocky portraits versus other members of the crew?
Make me an investigation check. If one were to kind of inspect the clearly has a fascination for the bestial. There's definitely portraits of the were-tigers that we encountered, but there is also sketches, perhaps less detailed, of the non-beasties companions.
Are they really good, or does it look like a child drew them?
I actually would like to think they're very good. I'm not sure if the DM's going to make me roll, but this is the way O practices their shape-shifting abilities by
He's
sort
got a
of
head for
memorizing.
mimicry. Yeah.
Yeah, they sort of memorize and they try to explore the physicality of creatures so that they can then transform into them.
I'm now just imagining O doing a wild shape into a really badly drawn horse. Your movement is 5 foot.
They might be talented, but they are still around 13. So yeah.
No, I think we'll say if you're saying they're good, then they're good.
They're functional.
They'll get a little bit better with each level she gains.
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay. Well, the evening draws out. Does anybody have a tale they want to tell or a conversation they want to start up over the course of the evening? If not, we will get to the point where we're retiring for the night. Okay. We get to the point where sober Commodore excuses himself. He's looking quite weary. He's like, I slept. I worked through the night keeping watch, so if you forgive me, I will catch a few hours and get back up on deck. More of the same tomorrow, everybody. A very good, excellent first day. I look forward to seeing more from you all, and we should be at Toppler's Tower in the next 2 days.
Excellent.
Yeah.
It's fantastic to be back on a spelljamming ship. And fear not, I will patrol the ship and keep watch throughout the night.
Most reassuring. Between you, Bones, and Starbow, we should have near constant vigilance. Constant vigilance, I say, aboard the ship.
Indeed.
Then yeah, he heads to bed. Any nocturnal shenanigans from anybody? Solstice, if you pull another all-nighter, you will gain a level of exhaustion.
No, not doing
Yeah.
that. Solstice goes straight to sleep.
Yeah. Everybody go to sleep, or?
Could I sleep
Ooh,
up on
yeah.
the deck?
Yeah, you'd need to. It's not going to be comfy unless you take your bedding up.
I have my bedroll, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can. It's a little difficult to get to sleep. It's very bright, but it's it's definitely doable. It's not going to mechanically. There's going to be no penalties to sleep once you eventually do get to sleep. But yeah, what, is she just on her back looking up the stars?
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Anything from anybody else?
Well, does she want company? Would she want company?
I'll take it.
Yeah, I think if O sees Harmonia carrying her bed roll up they would take their own bedding and Rocky and kind of sort of lie next to Harmonia, cuddle up with Rocky, and just sort of camp night.
We're just gonna be all snug as a bug in a rug.
Zero is just going to head up into the crow's nest for his sentry's rest. So he appears inert, but he can still see and hear. So he'll just be being watched.
Excellent. Any conversation about Harmonia and O want as they're stargazing, or do we skip the night?
I think I'm just content, like doing the cozy cuddle, watching the space around us.
Try not to throw up.
Yeah, I think O feels this is a great adventure and just enjoying the company and the stars and the fact that they're moving.
Okay. Then as we rest the night, everybody can give themselves a long rest.
Thank God.
He said, I don't have my module on this in this world for prompting a rest, but yeah, give yourselves a long rest for a good night's sleep, and we will pick up. We will pick up in the morning, and that's also 9 p.m. So let's take a 10-minute break, and then we will carry on. Back in 10. She's built like a steakhouse, but she handles like a bistro. My God, she's out of control! We've been back in for several seconds, by the way. Hello. So, everybody has rested. The next day starts. You have your breakfast, and a day's work awaits you on the ship. An hour or so in, the Commodore informs you that you are still just over a day away from your destination, which you've heard him describe as being called Topola's Tower, his friend, the cartographer. And this Topola apparently can give you directions to Doom Space. How long after the morning starts do you come down from your crow's nest, Zero? Or do you remain there throughout the morning?
No, I would be headed down to prepare breakfast and then, join the crew in any tasks that may need accomplishing.
Okay. As you are going about your tasks, there is a sudden lurch from the ship as you all feel a sudden ramp up in speed. And the Commodore looks quite concerned by this, and you, with your experience as well, Balthazar, I imagine you and the Commodore sort of catch each other's eyes, and you might both immediately, I mean, you know how a Spelljammer works, you know that the pilot has a psychic view of everything surrounding the ship. The Commodore immediately sort of leans over the side, looking back behind to see what is behind the ship. And he calls out after a few moments and is readying his rifle. He's like, "We're being followed."
Can you tell who it is from this distance?
It's an aesthetic, so I haven't a clue. Those of you with spelljamming experience, or can make me a... those with spelljamming experience can make me a history check. O can make it with advantage. Or someone can look off behind the ship.
Can one do both?
Yeah,
I
sure.
will lean out over the railing, looking behind us.
Oh, with advantage, okay. Looking over the edge of the ship behind you, you see that you are being followed by what can only be described as a huge jellyfish that is just bursting along at speed behind you. The tendrils are almost like in a very loose sort of propeller type spin, and the dome of the jellyfish undulates as it just speeds up, and it is clearly gaining on you. Those of you who have looked back, make me a perception check.
I'd love to do so as well.
Yep.
I was a bit distracted by how beautiful it looks.
Yeah, it is very beautiful. Balthazar and O, as you're looking at this, you see how is the image still on screen for you?
Mm-hmm.
You see how in front of, just behind the spike at the front of the jellyfish was like the blue orb. As you're looking at that, you see that it is translucent, and inside you can see a figure who is stood like this, occasionally moving their arms in a way that very much seems to be like they are controlling something. You would know, Solstice, that an aesthetic is a type of, there are very few people who can control them, but it can be used as a private sort of ship by certain individuals.
I shall share that with the crew.
And yeah, it is very large. It's definitely bigger than the second wind. And it is gaining on you even with the increase in speed. A lot of the crow's nest sort of rotates slightly, and like a couple of inches, and as it does, like a few metal spokes pop out of it, which resonate in your ear. I've tried to increase the speed, but we're being gained on. And yeah, it draws closer. What is everybody doing?
Any chance it's friendly question?
It's entirely possible. As he's the Commodore's loading his gun. What was your thing? 21. Solstice, you would know, you would have some sort of itching, inkling memory, or perhaps a first-hand experience, that the main danger of an aesthetic is that they can entirely disable spelljammers with a psychic scream.
Okay. So, if this thing catches up with us, we're dead in the, I want to say water, but space. What do I know what the range on that would the psychic scream would kind of be?
Big.
Big. Okay. Do we try and negotiate? Or are we gonna? Can we chuck some cargo overboard to go faster? Does that work?
That's not how spelljamming works, you boob!
Okay, scratch that idea. Anybody? Ideas?
I'm afraid none of my abilities will reach such a range until it is quite close to us. I do wonder, however, what the range on Starbow's rock throwing ability might be.
Yeah, he is already holding rocks. His range, he's effectively I never know how to pronounce it, mangonel? I only ever saw it written in Age of Empires 2. I've never heard it said out loud. He has a range of 180 feet with it. But he's holding and it is awaiting his command. But immediately, Balthazar, you see a bright sparkle and flash inside that glass dome, and the figure is gone. The aesthetic remains, but then suddenly there is a similar sparkle on the deck.
Oh.
And a figure steps out. Let me show you. There we go. A magical doorway appears on the main deck of the ship. The flamboyantly dressed figure steps through it, brandishing a trident, and the doorway closes behind them. Sparkling light surrounds the figure, particularly in the halo around their head. Heading to Toppler's Tower, are we? I don't believe so. My friends in the Empire simply don't want you meddling in their affairs. But forgive me, I have not introduced myself to you yet. My name is Hastane.
Hastane?
Hastane.
Hastane.
I would spell it for you, but it would not serve you well for long.
Like Jessica Chastain, but without the C?
I do not know who that is.
That was me asking.
I don't know who you are. When the Xerixians came looking for a suitable world to nourish their dying star, I couldn't wait to suggest yours. It isn't every day I get to witness the destruction of a planet. I promise it will end beautifully, even if you're not alive to see it. And he levels his trident at you all as the jellyfish continues drifting along behind you. And I would like everybody to please roll initiative.
His heels
Oh.
are incredible.
Oh no, I'm gone.
GM,
Is what's
I have
incredible?
been-
Heels.
Yeah.
I just disappeared.
Oh yeah, I accidentally hid you all instead of put you all in combat. It's fine. I will return you now.
No.
Auto TP.
GM, he was standing right next to me. Can I, shush, not shush,
Shoo.
shoo, thank you. Shoo Rocky down beneath. Would he listen to me?
We have already established that the dog will always be safe. That was established early. I will, however, move Rocky off the ship as you hurl him off the edge.
I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to shoo him downstairs.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
Come on and slam.
Space change.
Oh, God.
Oh my god. These are some. Oh, someone's okay.
All right, Solstice, you got
At
this,
first,
right?
You were terrible.
Oh dear.
I think we had like 1-2-2 or something at the start.
Oh,
I didn't
sorry.
see myself.
I forgot to add the aesthetic to the combat.
That does not bode well.
Oh yeah, where are you? Oh,
I'm not sure.
She jumped off.
there we
after
go.
Rocky.
You were under the tree. There you go.
Hmm.
So, I'll just clear the combat log because it's getting big, and we will begin. So first up is Solstice.
Okay, I am going to since it's the nearest. Hold on. How do you use Foundry? There you go. I'm going to take out my sidearm. Say that this won't hurt. Oh, just hold still a moment, and I will cast haste on you.
And as you do, he just clacks his trident to the floor. He's like, I think not.
Oh no.
As he will cast a 6th level. In fact, I will require you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please, Solstice. DC 18.
Save. Oh dear.
Solstice says that, and as he aims his gun towards you, Hastane bangs his trident on the floor. There's a flash of grey, and Solstice vanishes. Just.
Okay.
Oh, you're up.
Well, I'm glad they used their reaction for that. As I see that, I go like, oh no! And I'm gonna cast heat metal on his hopefully metallic trident. Yeah, it's 2nd level.
Great
Right
line.
click.
So I was going to do exactly the same thing.
Well, we're best friends for a reason. So they take. Actually, I'm very sorry. I am actually getting a little bit very distracted by the moving background now.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
trying
fine.
to read things on the screen and it's just in the back. So they take 13 damage.
Everyone takes 20 points of whiplash damage as the ship. Is that an okay speed, just so it has the sense of movement, or would you rather it be stopped?
No, this is fine. This is fine.
Yeah?
This is fine. It was just
So it
like
takes-
trying to read text with things in the background. Yeah, so that the trident's now red hot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually say it's white hot because it's even hotter than red. And it takes 13 fire damage.
Yeah.
The creature takes 6. If he doesn't drop the object, he has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of my next turn.
It's a con
sorry.
save to see if he drops it.
Well, you see the trident glow. He sneers slightly. He seems unconcerned at the increase in heat. Looking at this person, everybody make me everybody who has experience of spacefaring, make me a nature check.
I assume not solstice.
Why?
Because
not there.
yeah. Not you. Yeah. Yeah, 0. Through your data banks, you would be fairly confident that this person may possibly be a Rygar, although they don't even look entirely typical for a Rygar. What was your roll? 23. You would know that Rygar are an androgynous folk who evolved into a humanoid shape from a species of cephalopod similar to octopi. They have bioluminescent freckles and the ability to change the coloration of their skin and their resistance to elements. Each of them has a glory, which is like a glowing halo surrounding their head. This magical display is a cloud of twinkling, glittering motes that changes colour randomly and can repel attacks. Rygar don't trust one another, which has been the case ever since they destroyed their homeworld in a war, and that is where I think with a 23 your knowledge would end. So a warlike cephalopod type person with elemental resistances and immunities. Okay. So yeah, you have heated metal. Oh, anything else from you?
I will like to move away just a little bit. I'm assuming there's a little bit of cover if I'm down here, because it's a different level.
Yeah.
Or is it the same because of the stairs? Yeah. That's their turn.
Okay.
End turn.
Hastane reaches into his own chest, which just like parts for him, and brings his arm out and lets go just a handful of just goo that falls to the floor. And in the space of a second, that goo just and creates another seemingly Hastane.
Sorry, DM. Sorry, does his cool racial abilities make him immune to getting rid of his trident? Because he needs a con save.
Well, isn't the con save presumably the con save is due to the effect of the burning, but he is immune to fire, so presumably he is entirely unarsed.
Oh, I thought it was resistant to elements, not immune to elements.
He is not remotely concerned by the glowing of the metal. Yeah, if it was resistant, I'd like make him roll with advantage, but this is not an issue for him.
I'm going to draw concentration on the spell then, since this has not worked at all.
So he makes that clone, and then he just flicks the hand almost dismissively out towards the Commodore. And just a streak of colourful magic flies across the deck and hits the Commodore. And that is all he will do. As he finishes, his clone will do the same. This time, unleashing its magic at Lady Beryl.
R.I.P. Lady Beryl.
I've just realised I may have made a problem for myself here in how I designed this character. Let me just check. Let me just check something.
Would the chromatic bolt happen to be a ranged attack?
It will. Let me just check something because I just realised what I want to do is have. Okay.
Character.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. So before this other one goes to cast, are you going to do something, Balthazar?
Oh no, I'm not going to do anything, but he would have disadvantage, I suppose, because Lady Beryl is within 5 feet.
Yeah. Oh, no, it is a spell attack. I was saying it's not actually a spell, but it is listed as a spell attack. Oh, it still went for... No,
Commodore!
So Commodore, undo whatever damage... Oh no, it's Commodore Crux, it's not you. Lady Beryl takes a heavy, point-blank blast.
Oh. I guess I didn't have a turn yet.
No, it happens. So it acts at the... Oh, why did for combat...
Well, no,
oh, the aesthetics come in.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're further down. Oh my god, you rolled a 4. Okay. The aesthetic hasn't acted yet. The clone acted in his turn. It is now Starbow. Starbow is like... Do I fire Commodore? The Commodore reply me affirmative. And therefore Starbow... Here I go then. And you hear the crunch of rocks being scooped up. And he is going to make a rock throw at the ascetic. Which hits. That's all he's going to do.
Our plant ship versus his jellyfish ship.
The Commodore. Let's have a look. Yeah, the Commodore, seeing what is going on here, is going to... Where is it? He is going to rush forward. And try to strike in a shove attack to push this figure away from Lady Beryl. I'll have him make Balthazar buckshot target. What? Oh, I double clip it wrong. Ah, you boob! I'm gonna have him do the old athletics versus. (13) versus Hastane clones 18. He fails to push him away. So instead he will make a... Oh, because the aesthetic was targeted. He will then come up with the sword that he has on the end of his musket, which also misses. Not a good opening round for Commodore. Lady Beryl is going to disengage. She ducks back for her companions. It's like, oh, excuse me, excuse me. And yes, sorry, excuse me. And she'll just step back. If I had a gun, Balthazar, you're up.
I'm almost ready. Give me a second. Sure. Okay, yeah. And then this attack rolls. Sure. Right. I'll get closer to them then. To both of them, actually. Oh. the frontal part disappeared. Was there something else?
It's a canopy thing that you stepped under.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay.
So you can't actually go.
Oh, so
you can't go any higher than that.
I mean, not higher.
It should be
I see.
further north. It should be walled off there.
Okay, I see. So this is us.
And now it is.
This is the end.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Still, this is not a horrible position, although Commodore has positioned himself very badly. Anyways. Well, shit. Here we go. So first thing I want to do is to knock them prone. So the one on the right. So if they can make me an athletics or acrobatics check against my advantageous athletics. So they would indeed be prone.
He would flash a burst of grey energy comes up as he will burn one of his legendary resistance to avoid being floored.
A resistance? Isn't that for saves?
Oh, so was it? What did you have him? What did you have him make then? Just an opposed, was it?
Yeah.
Then yeah. I apologize. He would be.
Sure.
He would be bodies hit the floor.
Indeed, and then I would like to grapple.
Go for it.
So same ordeal. Shit. And athletics or acrobatics from them. Shit.
He's very, very slippery. You can believe his cephalopod heritage as you try to grab onto him.
Yeah, trying to pin down what has been knocked down. All right, well that's me then. I think with a bonus. Do I want to? Oh, actually, I might want. Sure. I mean, it doesn't cost me much. I suppose. No. Okay, we're good. We're good. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, Harmonia.
All right. I am just going to step back to about here, and I'm going to cast Armor of Agathis on myself. I can't target myself, so hopefully this works.
Why can't you target yourself?
I don't know. It wouldn't let me.
Have you double right-clicked on yourself?
Yeah, double right-click doesn't do it.
It worked though, so it's good.
Oh.
It worked.
Keep a target.
Okay. You've Agathis to yourself, yeah?
Yes.
Anything else from you? Okay, Zero, you're up.
Zero's welding mask style helmet will click down over his face.
It's definitely I feel like every time you do that, it's a mixture of Baymax going battle mode and Optimus Prime's little Michael Bay his little mouth guard. Whing!
And then you can see just little red pinpricks.
Yeah.
He is going to start by casting, copying Astain somewhat. He's going to cast Mirror Image. Okay, and then as a bonus action, he's going to engage his defensive field.
That's going really well, Tana, for music. Like, the little images coming up.
And then step forward. He will say...
Commodore, I suggest stepping back and providing covering fire. And
that is all.
Okay. Top of a round. Solstice, you had said to hold on. You went to pull out your gun to buffer, and suddenly just everyone's moved around a little bit, and everything's just a few seconds later than you were expecting. I can't remember if I actually clicked the ability before, but you were temporal shunted.
Do I lose the spell still?
You do.
Right, okay.
So it's effectively Dunamancy counterspell.
Gotcha. Okay. You were on the other side a second ago. Okay, let's try that again. And I'll cast haste again. Did I click it? Oh. There we go. You are now hasted, unless anything strange happens.
Yep, you're not shunted this time.
Okay, and then I guess... Do I... Hold on. No, they're out of range. I'll move up here. Hold on. And... I guess I wouldn't know which of one of the Hastings are the real one.
Yes, as you wouldn't.
I guess...
Because you go up and you think this is getting out of hand. Now there is more than one of them.
I'll try a telekinetic shove on this one.
Which one? The one on the right is prone and has a Balthazar over him. But where is Balthazar gone?
Yeah,
on my screen.
He is under the dragon.
He's a what, sorry?
I'm between them, under the canopy.
Oh, yeah. You hid on my screen, yeah.
So, this is fail? Fails, so he goes back 5 feet.
Which one, sorry, left or right?
Right.
Cool, okay, yeah, he does. He goes, he's prone, he is blown off the edge, and you see that he sort of just tumbles a little bit. How many feet is he going?
Just 5 feet.
Yep, he just comes to a halt in the air and looks very, very amused.
I guess that's my turn.
Okay. Oh, it's you. You are muted, Oh.
Sorry. Could you... my screen's gone really, really slow. Could you let me know if I would fit as a large creature in front of one of these guys?
No, not at the moment, because one of them has been knocked off the ship. The other one is penned in by Balthazar, Commodore, and Zero. Unless you have something that is large and has a 10-foot reach, it could reach through your companions and strike him from these 4 tiles, I guess.
I think trying to open my beast forms has completely frozen my my foundry. That's my fault. No, everything has 5-foot reach. Okay, never mind. Crap. Okay, well, one doesn't need... Far away. Sorry, that hasted really kind of changed what I was going to do. 35. And so he's... Because okay, so I can't actually get to this one, no matter what I do.
Not unless you have anything that has any sort of range. You've got range spells as well. And this guy on the right has been knocked off the ship.
I mean,
but hasn't fallen down yet.
Can you stand there and get that one?
Oh yeah, you get up the very edge and attack him as he is floating out.
Yeah, I guess I have a soda pod, so I could do that with my... Okay, sorry, there's yeah, sorry. Okay, I have double speed because of hasted, so I'm going to drag myself up there. 5. Come on, Foundry. There. 35. And then I'd like to extend my pseudopod and cast Primal Savagery against it.
What? Remind me what that is.
Cantrip.
Oh, okay.
It's a cantrip.
Sounded much more impressive.
Well, they're basically tentacles elongate, and I'm going to slap him in the face. If I can. Ooh, no, why does it hit? Oh,
you hit yourself. You targeted yourself, I think.
But no, I didn't.
Oh no, you were targeting him. That's weird.
I'm gonna.
Unless you've got.
Does he have some sort of weird magics?
No. All I can think of is if. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
It says self on the card.
That's weird. That's an imported spell, I think. Let me have a look. I can change this to target. What's the target meant to be on that, Gijo? 5 foot? One creature within 5 feet?
It's 5. Yeah.
One creature, range 5 feet. Okay.
My finger is really struggling.
Cast it again.
Yep. Cast it again.
And obviously, if it misses, just roll it again till it hits.
No worries.
Hey, look, we're going to say it hit anyway. But you can still click damage because you got 22 before. Wasn't your fault, but it.
And I'm not sure if this is going to add to the +2 that I get from the staff.
It will. Because that's hard baked in your character sentence.
That is fabulous. Oh no, it's acid damage. I thought it was Is acid an element?
It is, but you see that he does recoil from it.
Oh, fuck for that. And I can attack again. Is that right? Because of
Yeah, you have one weapon attack.
Why has it... I'm sure it just damaged his...
You say weapon. What about cantrips?
It doesn't say anything about cantrips in this spell description. It just says only to take the attack, one weapon attack only, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object.
Is that because warriors get 2 attacks with their weapon attacks?
I think
or
so.
Fighters?
For the haste action, you could make a regular attack, but I don't think you can cast a cantrip because that would be the casting a spell action.
Yeah. So you can slap him.
I'm gonna slap him with my staff. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
And then eventually, when we level up, I'll take Shillelagh. I wasn't counting on a staff. No, I don't want to use ability. I just want to hit him.
Bonk.
Unfortunately, that misses. Anything else from you, Ao?
No, but that bonus is not right. It might not be very high, but it's definitely not 3 because it's at least a +2 with my proficiency and my strength. So proficiency is 3. So I think it's.
We'll look at it, but it definitely wouldn't have still hit. It wouldn't have still hit. The aesthetic creeping up behind you reaches out with tentacles and goes to strike the second wind. And hits. There's a heavy crunch and shudder.
Chrono shift. You have to reroll.
Would you be able to see from where you are the big thing behind you, Solstice? Do you have to see it for Chrono Shift?
Yes.
Is that listed it?
I'm probably out of range. Yeah, I'm out of range anyway.
Yeah. So there is a heavy shudder and crunch as a heavy blow takes the back of the ship and the second wind has taken damage. This, I would imagine, deep down, distresses 0 on a functional level. Hastane. So Hastane, floating off the ship, maintains his position floating and looks up above you all. Do you know what the deadliest thing is in space? It's gravity. And he's going to cast above you all this dense black hole begins to pulse 10 foot in the air above you all, and you all feel this drag to pull you up towards it. Saving throws should be prompted for everyone. Anyone who fails their saving throw struggles to move. They are. You take the amount of that damage as force, and your speed is halved. It's only done. Oh, it's an all up there. Harmonia only Harmonia fails, so Harmonia takes a bit more damage. Yeah, and that remains floating up in the air for a moment. As he's gonna kick back and float a little further away from you. Oh, will you react?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to try to hit him with the staff, I guess.
Yeah, I'll move him closer for the purposes of swinging your attack.
I'm gonna add the +3 with the proficient to this. That's 2, 3. No.
Yeah, misses.
Never mind.
And he pushes back. As he does, his twin. There are all manner of horrors amongst the stars. And he too puts another. He adds his own spell, and the gravity well above you intensifies. 2 separate black holes above you all. Also, I noticed Harmonia failed the save. But the damage was just terrible for her. Okay, I wonder why she didn't have anything.
HP as well from my armor with Agathis.
Of course you did. Of course, yeah.
Why do I suddenly have more? Oh, because he just doubled the spell. Okay.
Because the other one cast it as well. Yeah.
Yep.
That is his turn. I believe, though, but that is just a duration is 1 round. Yeah, until the start of the next turn. So gravity is intensified in that area. Starbow is going to try and throw another rock.
Oh, it felt like bow is in the bow of a tree.
What did you think is in take a bow?
Yeah, or I was like, how do you know it's not pronounced star bow? Like a bow you shoot someone with.
Another heavy rock. You hear this strange, almost like warbling wind chime of a cry from the aesthetic as a rock smashes through part of its shell. The Commodore is going to try and step back. It's very slow. As he does, the clone is going to thrust the trident at him. Hits, despite it seemed to move a bit slower than you would expect it to.
I'll react and try to lower the blow.
At what point do you... Oh, yeah, okay, go on. So what's your roll there? Because damage has been done.
1d10 plus proficiency, so that's 7 plus proficiency, which is 2 or 3 right now.
3 at the moment.
So 10. Blocking 10.
So what, 10 is removed?
Yes.
I will add 10 back to him. Okay, yeah, so Commodore will step off, and then he will raise, with great effort, his rifle at the Hastane, who is off deck, and will try and fire his musket. Alas, unsuccessfully. That's all he's going to do. Lady Beryl Thornwood is going to take the dodge action. Balthazar, it's you.
Right, so how does our movement work now that we failed?
It's difficult terrain.
Oh, okay, just that.
There's extra complications if you try to pick up items that aren't secured to you, but there's nothing there to do any of that.
Okay, so the Commodore didn't leave the bubble just because he didn't want to, not because he wasn't able to. Okay. All right then. Well, since the real one was pushed away from my reach, I mean, I guess they seem to act the same, right?
Yeah.
Although this one wasn't. Okay. I mean, I'll just operate assuming that they are like, I don't know. They like cast spells the same. So I'll just try to do this. You said I cannot go further, but I guess I cannot really. Yeah, I'll try to do the same thing to this one though.
You cannot go further. What? Oh yeah, so you can't move further up beneath that. Yeah.
Like, yeah. All right. So first for the prone, I guess. Oh God. 5 with advantage, great. Okay. There we go.
No, Joe, he rolled a 2. I really thought he was going to be damn it. Yeah, he is bodied.
Okay, and then we want to keep him there, so grapple. Yay. And now, as the gravity is holding me down, I hope I'm doing the same to this one.
The double suplex!
Pinning to the deck.
Yep. He's grappled and pinned.
Indeed.
Anything else from you?
That would be me, fortunately. Oh wait, I could use my movement, although that will be like 1, so I can just right? I can move with half my movement.
Well, your movement is halved,
and then it's quartered, right?
So your movement is halved, and then your movement is halved, and then your movement is halved. Well, in fact, did you fail both gravity wells, or just one of them? Oh, okay, yeah. So that's a quartered, yeah.
Okay.
Halved once through the gravity you failed, and half through having someone grabbed.
So is that 10 feet or is that 5 feet? I don't know.
If you're a 30-foot movement, so that'll be It's like okay, 7.5 technically.
Listen, that's pretty good. I'll take that, and I'd like him to go over to that. Oh, can I not ping? I can. This spot with me.
Okay. Yep.
Just rolling him out for everyone to hit, possibly, maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Anything else from you?
I'm good.
Okay. Harmonia has had to step away, but has left instructions. She would like to cast bonus action Healing Light on herself. Let's have a look. She will go to, where are we? Healing Light. I don't actually see that in her list of spells. Am I being very foolish? Oh, is it a feature? Yep, okay. As she goes to heal herself, I'm actually going to make her do a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw before she casts a spell. She makes it, so Hastain will waste his attempt to temporal shunt her. She will overcome it and will heal herself. Let's have a look. She has healed herself by 6. Then she wanted a Celestial Burst Hastain. Is that one a spell? Yes, it is. It is missed. And will bring a boot so it was to get close if need be, but not. That is fine. That is all from her. I will save her. I imagine she wants to get out of the gravity well, so she has stepped up a gravity well. 0, it's you.
I'm gonna maneuver around a bit, like so. I'm then going to bonus action try and use gravity warp to pull Hastane back in range.
What does he need to make for that? Remind me. Or are you going to prompt it?
Supposed to prompt it, but instead it appears to have whispered.
Oh yeah, Hastane. That's odd. Let's have a look. I'll make him make his save.
Weird.
Weird. Failed of an 8. So what? 5 or 10 or
closer. And then with my main action, I'm going to power up the Thunder Gauntlets and try and slam the prone version of Hastane advantageously.
That is very hit. Oh no, that was poor damage. That's a shame.
I mean, it's a melee attack, so like, I rolled on the second one. I rolled a 7 on a d8, so it's not that bad.
Fair enough.
However, more importantly, secondary effect of disadvantage against anyone except me.
And he mostly has disadvantage anyways from prone, I guess.
Even better.
Okay, anything else on 0?
Nope, I will remain there.
I have a quick question.
Oh, yeah.
Just because the effect is still on the map and the AoE as well. Does it do anything to him as he enters the space, or is it the magnified gravity? Does it do anything to
as who enters the space?
As Hastane was pulled into it.
He was already partially in it.
Oh, okay. So it just doesn't affect him at all.
Correct.
Cool. Good to know.
Solstice, it's you.
Okay, I will move next to Lady Beryl and try and shield her a bit from the.
So gallant.
But one has to protect the apprentice, and I'll go for a shove on Mr. Hastane, but I'm actually trying to pull him. So, did that prompt the saving throw?
It is not. It's whispered me again, which is obviously a bit of a Foundry thing. It would seem that it's about to do it in a moment. Yeah, he's failed of a 13. So who's that?
The one that is outside of the ship, 5 feet towards me. So I guess.
Where are you?
In
front of her. In front of her. Okay, yeah.
And then I will do a cantrip, a lovely Toll of the Dead. Did that work? Do I need to click something?
You need to click damage.
There we go.
Bong.
Give it a moment. I don't know what. I don't like this. This is very odd. It's only happening in this world. He fails. It seems to always pause when it's a failed saving throw. Yep, he fails.
And that's my turn.
Was this Hastane wounded at all or not? Before
yes.
The Dead? Because it rolled d8s. Not d12s.
He was wounded. Was he wounded?
He was. Roll a d4.
Okay. D4. No, that's a D.
Twice.
Twice?
I think so. You rolled 2d8 on a Toll of the Dead, so it should be 2d12 instead.
Okay.
I have added 7 more damage to him.
Thank you.
And I'm just going to clear the combat log for lag. Cool. Anything else from Solstice?
Nope, that's it.
Oh, it's you, and apparently you're deciding to do something stupid, you described it as. Oh no, have you deleted that from the chat now?
No,
I just realised.
I haven't. It's just
still there.
Oh, yeah, maybe it is.
I would like to transform myself into a giant constrictor snake.
Ooh.
And have half my body inside the ship, half my body attempt to constrict this fella right here.
I will allow it. However,
I'm just gonna jump on it.
How big? What size? Remind me. Is a giant constrictor snake? Because if it's large, you don't have space to do it at the moment.
Actually, it is huge. Never mind. Okay.
Is it?
I was just, well, there's space here and here. And here.
So that is not space. That's terrain. That's walled off. And that is out in midair. You've got the tile you're in and the tile to your left.
Okay, then I will do the stupid thing. And I will sort of just kind of see how this gravity thing works. And instead of a snake, because that is huge, I'm just gonna literally as they leap into space on top of this thing, they transform into a saber-toothed beastie. Do you remind me, do I just drag this thing on?
So you open your no. So you open your character sheet.
It's open.
And you drag the actor onto your character sheet, and it should ask you if you're trying to polymorph or wild shape yourself.
It doesn't do that.
Okay,
it does not do that.
I will do it for you again, man.
Not a bear, sir. The tiger.
Yeah, that's the one you just dragged out, saber-tooth tiger. Where are you getting bear from?
I don't have any vision or anything. Like, it's all gone.
Yeah, and it's fine.
Sorry.
There you go. I keep
perfect.
Should be fixed now, yeah.
Great. And I now can't target it because I'm on it. Foundry is really horrid when it comes to like drill shapes and stuff. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to attack it.
You could be targeting the one that's prone and you would have advantage for it.
She's already leapt. Because there's no room to be this on the ship.
I know.
So you miss and presumably fall past him.
No, that's too. Oh, there, I get another one.
I'll use Colonel Shift to let O reroll the attack.
Okay.
What? So I reroll one.
Yeah. So.
Wait, the bite misses, but that doesn't mean that I don't fall onto him. Does it?
That seems to be because guarantees. That means you're trying to guarantee connection. I would say no. Chronal shift. So you've bitten. You've reroll. All three miss. You fall from the ship. Going off the fallen rules, where you technically fall 500 feet in the first round, we'd say you go through the z. You are now suspended 60 feet below all of this.
This is going well.
Stupid.
Can
I move?
You are inert, hovering. If you have anything as a fly speed, you can.
I don't get fly speed at this level.
So yeah, you are currently just hovering in limbo. Mm-hmm. Anything else from you?
Mm-hmm. No.
Okay. The aesthetic is going to lash out again. And that misses. Hastain. So, first of all, it's done it automatically. The gravity wells sputter out. The Hastain, who is floating off the edge of the ship, is going to look to he's going to try and kick back again from the ship. 0, if you wish to make an attack opportunity, you can now.
Would love to. Bam! Thunder Gauntlet.
That is a hit. Oof, does that affect his ability to move or anything like that? Just hit him with it normally?
Just disadvantage to attack anyone but me.
Yeah. That's not like a melee range thing. But that's you and you, yeah?
Because of the sonic ringing in his ears.
Excellent. Okay, he doesn't actually have ears, so so yeah, he is going to push back, and then he will try to throw his trident at you. it travels unerringly fast. Now, remind me, what do I need to do here? Is it just gonna, you'll tell me if it actually hits or not? Well, it misses.
Okay.
And unsurprisingly to you, it back to his hand afterwards.
Actually, multiple things at play here. Because I've got the mirror images, I think I should roll to see if it hits an image,
Do so.
which is a d20. And then the rule for mirror image is let's roll a 6 or higher to change the attack target to a duplicate. Okay, and it's disadvantageous, so can you make him roll it again? Okay, so it takes out a duplicate.
Okay, cool. Then, yeah, it summons back to his hand, and then he will throw it again, actually, at disadvantage this time. Missing terribly. That's all from him. What are you? Oh, do you still roll even on a miss to see if it hits an image?
Well, I roll before it attacks and it sees who it targets.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So with 2 duplicates, roll 8 or higher. So it does get with a duplicate. However, unfortunately, the duplicate only has an AC of 11. So it takes out a duplicate.
Okay. And you're tracking how many you got left, yeah?
I am.
The grappled one on the floor with Balthazar on top of him, giving him a bad time, is going to... Let me just check something.
Well, actually, I'm talking crazy. It's not a disadvantage, but it hit the duplicates regardless, so never mind.
He is going to dimension door out from underneath your grasp. And he reappears... He reappears over here.
It's a relatively high level spell slot for that, at least.
That's all he can do. Oh no, that's not a spell. So he then, as your
Wait, what?
Sorry, so the Dimension Door is a spell. Something else that I thought was a spell is not.
I see.
So you are grappling him, suddenly the sparkle, he's gone. And then from behind you, you just hear a spark of magic.
Nice.
Isn't Dimension Door an action?
Yes, but Chromatic Bolt was not.
Oh.
And was not a spell.
Oh.
Yeah. That's all I was checking.
What a baddie.
The heavy blast of magic takes Balthazar in the back. But that is the Hastain's go.
Okay.
Starbow. With a rock ready to throw at the ascetic, just sees this little man or little person appear next to him. And just tries to... Oh, actually, that should be an advantage. Oh, but it hits anyway. You just hear this crash as this rock just gets slammed into the Hastain on the roof, seeming to hit him very hard. That's all from him, but... Oh, does he have more? He actually... Oh, no, he has a slammer. Oh, no, you can't do that as well. Okay, Commodore Crooks. Are we splitting our attacks across the two of them, or focusing on one?
They move somewhat unpredictably to focus attacks.
Very well, then. And he is going to just fire at the one who's hovering off a ship.
Oh, does it start about Stone Hastain?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah, both targeted and missed. He can make a second musket attack, actually. I realise now.
Did Hastain look suitably perturbed by getting bludgeoned by that rock?
It was big damage.
Nice.
And other Hastane has been lightly musketed. Lady Beryl is going to run down the steps and try and get out of this guy's sight. Balthazar, to you.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. This is not great. The 30 would get me there-ish. Would that get me under the roof?
Where? Oh, sorry, you heading down 30?
30, yeah. Yeah, that seems like it would, kinda. Would I be able to hide sort of from the thing that's above me, or not?
It would have cover. You'd get cover from it, yeah. Wouldn't be full cover.
Yeah, that's fine.
If it stepped forward, it could do a -5.
Yeah, sure. I guess, yeah. All right. I mean, try to coordinate an assault, I suppose, on the one that I cannot reach. I'll just head on, try to get closer to that one. Hopefully he just comes down at some point, or I climb up to it. And I'll just cast Casual Bless on 0, 0, End Solstice or End Myself? That's the question. I think End Solstice is fine. Yep, consume, please. Oh, and I think it... Okay, it applied only to Solstice. Oh yeah, because I would have to hold Shift. So I'll just recast it without using those spells. Oh. Yes. Now do not consume. Now cast. Now this should work. Hopeful. No, because I'm not in range. Thank you, Foundry. Yes. There's many things that need to align. Okay, I mean, I'll just apply it and...
I need to have Monkey have a look for my automation again soon. He needs to do a refresh.
I mean, I think it's working well. I just need to be, you know... It's just
Yeah,
very...
I'm blessed. I think, honestly, the having the thing that stops you doing things out of range is more hassle than it's worth.
Yeah, if you know what... I might just give you Trusted again, like Kezistrad, and ask you to do a pass-through of it all.
I'll just have to resist turning off all your shit.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, cool. Harmonia, it's you. Well, I do declare, I think I will, I'm a cast a heal on myself. Can she do her healing shit to other people with that healing light?
That would be mighty
Let's have a
helpful.
look. Yeah. It's having one creature you can see. One creature you can see within 60 foot. Any objection to her? Do we think she'd top up Lady Beryl or Balthazar?
I mean, I don't know how hurt Lady Beryl is, so let's say
Lady
Balthazar.
Beryl is bleeding heavily.
Oh.
Oh.
Balthazar.
Yeah, but she can run away. Balthazar's going to be standing and fighting.
Okay, she will heal Balthazar then.
Hopefully Lady Beryl will, like, you know, duck below deck and hide.
Until the ship blows up.
Yeah.
Okay.
By the look of it, it may well
So
do.
that is a terrible healing light that she's done on... Weirdly, it doesn't... It looks like, actually, that this is not a roll. You can spend as many as you want. I don't know why this is dealing it in such a way. We need to look at
Well, it says
what she's done.
a pool, right? So she has...
It's done 1d6. Yeah, so she could...
choose how many?
Yeah, so I think she would do... And it's still part of the same action, so I think she would do a couple more. She would not heal him. I think she's going to go whole hog on him.
Yay.
So that means she's only got 1d6 left if she's done.
She still has... She will have...
One earlier, right?
Yeah, she has 2 left at this point.
Okay.
So I think she'll keep 2 more bursts for an emergency. And then she will... once again do whatever the shit she did before on Hastane but missed. Celestial Burst.
Celestial Burst!
Oh,
Shit damage again.
it's
God
almost 90.
Harmonia. God Harmonia. Okay, 0, it's you.
I'm again going to try and gravity warp Hastane closer to me, which should come through any second. Oh, he succeeds. Little bastard. Okay. Then in that case, I will. Which one? Spells. I will use my lightning launcher at him to zap him.
Oh,
Ah, bugger. Okie doke. That's me, I'm afraid.
You see that he looks to be rather wounded. He doesn't seem to have much in the way of blood, but what he does have looks like he is bloodied. Top of a round. Solstice.
okay. I'm going to move to the edge of the ship and sort of clamber half over the edge. And can I see O from where I am on the edge? Since it's 60 feet down.
Not on that side.
Okay, so I can't see them. So I'll run back to the other side.
Yeah, and you see, I think they'd actually be around here, just so we're not saying they're directly underneath Hastain, which you would just see floating in this really irritating limbo now.
Is the ship leaving them behind?
No, because of how this ridiculous. They're inside, because it's inside the air bubble of gravity. So yeah, it isn't like you disappear, you pop out the back and when you're adrift. You stay clung near the ship's own little center of gravity. Like I said before, there's ridiculously complex instructions and diagrams for it that I'll drop in the channel later.
What you see, I think, Solstice, is you know how cats always fall on their legs, but what happens to a cat that never stops falling? So they're just kind of like, continuously kind of twirling. It's not pretty.
Perpetual motion machine.
Not their best moment.
I'll yell out, hold on, and I'll use my sidearm to use Vortex Warp, which you can voluntarily fail, and then I'll bring you back up onto the ship.
Thank you so much.
So, from where they are at the moment to probably here.
A very unhappy looking cat is.
Watch me pounce again from the ship.
And then I'll do another telekinetic grab on Mr. Floaty Boy.
Yeah.
See if he fails. Fails. So 5 feet back.
Oh, you push them away?
No, towards the ship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I think I have 5 feet left in movement. I'll move just a little bit back inside the ship.
Okay.
That's me.
Saber-tooth tiger.
Is dropping shape also a bonus action, or can just be done?
I think it's a bonus. Let's have
Transforming is a bonus. I'm not sure. You can stay, blah blah.
It's a bonus.
Yep, a bonus confirms Senor Death.
Okay, well I'll drop shape as a bonus action.
And then what?
And I'll cast Fairy Fire on the. Yes, I want concentration to end, please. On this guy. I'm gonna place it just so that it doesn't hit any friendlies, please. My range is not 5 feet for Fairy Fire Foundry. I don't know what you're on about. But that should have worked.
Yeah, it has. It's going to take a few seconds and it's going to pop up. He fails.
Awesome. For that. So he's now all glowy with all sorts of like spores, like glittery spores. And that's the end of. Actually, I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna move a bit closer to here. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. The aesthetic draws closer, and you all begin to hear this horrible big banshee type wail scream that just goes on and on and on. It unleashes its jammer scream. The aesthetic targets one spell-jamming ship within 300 feet of itself, magically suppressing the properties of the ship's spell-jamming helm for...
Oh no.
Well, so here's the thing. You hear the scream build up. It's like it's building up for a moment. It's about to come, and Commodore Crux just shouts out, "Don't do it!" And you hear come echoing out. Let's have a look.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. The ship crunches to a halt. Remember, we've slowed the map down for this, but it was going at speed. The ship now comes to what is effectively a dead drift. Very, very suddenly. Everybody lurches. The ship has stopped. Hastane is going to cast Dimension Door. He's drawn in towards you, Zero, and suddenly the one on the roof is going to cast
So I see where it went.
Yes, you don't.
Oh.
Well, let's see where you're stood. Make a perception check. But the one on the roof fires a bolt off towards Commodore Crux. At 11, you do not get sight of where he is. Oh, make me a perception check.
Mm-hmm. It's coming.
You see, back in that front orb in the aesthetic, the figure of Hastane is now visible again, rapidly moving his arms in those controls.
I yelled out.
Yep. Starbow. I will let you decide on behalf of Commodore Crux. Would you want Starbow to smash the Hastane who is on the ship, or throw a rock at the vessel? One of you decide.
Vessel.
Vessel? Okay. A rock is... Oh no! Okay, whatever's about to be done to you, O, you have 49 HP. I'll set you back to 49 after this hits. Good God. That's a heavy blow.
I can do it, don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you. So yeah, you're on 49. Yeah, rock goes smashing into your aesthetic again, which gives another cry. Commodore Crux is going to step back and shoot. Shoot the guy on the roof. $19 hits, and then he fires again rapidly.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Poof. very heavy hit. The one on the roof is just, parts of them are just slopping off and sloughing onto the roof of the cabin now. Almost like a rapid melt. Lady Beryl Thornwood will take the dodge action. Balthazar, it's you.
What would be the options to get up there with him?
A climb.
Mm-hmm.
It's 10 feet from the floor with an overhang, so it would be a climb, unless you want to go up the steps and use a range attack on him.
So a rather simple climb then. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll get there. Can I get there with just my movement? What would that entail? Do I have to roll something?
Climb up 10 foot. I think it would be a climb check, wouldn't it?
Sure. What kind of DC would you say that is? On an athletics, right? Or...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I'll make the thingy. Mm-hmm. I imagine it's enough for a 10-foot climb.
Yeah.
It'd be like.
In fact, what's your jump with your strength?
I don't know.
Surely you can just jump that thinking about it.
My strength ain't that great. Like I just have 16. It's not like immense.
Do you know what? I want to look it up. So in the meantime, yeah, you've jumped up, or you've very easily climbed up. You still have your action.
Yeah, whichever. Sure. I'll go for a slam with my maul first. And that should be plus a d4. Okay. Sure game. And okay, it's just 10 feet though. Is it worth it? Considering where others, yeah, I think I'd just like to be down there. So I will try to shove him down, like sort of towards the edge, so that he falls onto the deck, and then I.
What? So you're trying to shove him like here?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, let's have a look. So what did you roll?
I'm rolling. So that's that.
I think you've got him.
Yeah. So I guess he falls 10 feet. So
he does.
D6 of damage, possibly. And I am unable to pick myself up from under the tree, unfortunately.
Takes 4 damage.
So if you could just move me, thank you. Yeah, I'll just follow him down so that I'm not staying in the place that's visible from the tentacly thing that's following us. Because that's what's my main concern here, that we might be open to attacks from it.
Okay, yeah.
We stay on the roof. Okay, and I get closer too. How many times are you going to run?
Harmonia is going to come up.
I'm here.
Oh, she's here!
I just barely got back.
I was about to have you very out of character, like, I have tasted the flesh of fallen angels.
I mean, if you want to go with that, that's fine. But what were you about to have me do? Because, like, I need so much catching up that you might as well just...
She was just going to cast, she was going to Celestial Burst him.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
You haven't managed to hit once of it so far.
Oh, how nice.
And this turn will be no exception. But she will, this time, now that Balthazar is topped up a bit more, she will Healing Light Lady Beryl Thornwood, who is in a bad way.
Thank you.
And that's your turn, Harmonia. Oh, no, it also healed the baddie. Let's not do that. Okay, Zero, it's you.
Okay, so is that house staying on the lower deck now?
Yes.
Okay, I run forward, T100 style. He's not prone, is he? He's just down.
I was gonna ask.
Oh shit! Yeah, he should have been actually, shouldn't he? Yeah. Yeah, because he's fallen, so yeah, he should be prone.
I don't want him to be prone. That's fine. I've got just enough movement that I can get in here and smash him with my Thunder Gauntlets. Advantageously, because he's prone.
Tell me how you kill him.
Oh.
The Thunder Gauntlet vibrates with power and crackles electricity and just slams down right into the chest, and presumably he kind of explodes into goop all over our deck.
Yes. Immediately. But even the equipment, the clothing, the trident, all in a matter of a second or two, just leaving no trace but a puddle.
And then after that, I would want to maneuver, if possible. Actually, no, I've done all my movement. Can we see, is our vision entirely blocked of seeing the aesthetic behind it?
It's so big that I imagine you would see, traces of tentacle and things like that at the side. But yeah, if the main front core of the creature is behind the cabin. When Balthazar hopped up there, he would have seen it in full.
Cool. That's everything I do.
Okay.
Actually, I will also defensive field myself.
Okay. Solstice, to you.
I'm going to take dodge action.
Okay. Oh,
That's it.
It's you.
So you said we can. So this guy's dead, and we can
Yes.
see the thing. Okay. And if I was traveling with this, sorry for the questions, but like if I summoned like something like a moonbeam or a lightning, will it travel with us too?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I would like to cast Moonbeam, 3rd level.
Think of it as you are in the train car, not stood on top of a train, is how the physics of everything works here.
Okay.
You throw a ball up on the train, it goes with you. You're on top of it, it shoots back.
There's a lot of spells that I have no idea how it works when you cast them in space.
Me too.
Yeah. So concentration ends on Fairy Fire, on the guy that's inside the ship. Looks so small, but I'm gonna just cast a moonbeam around here, trying to hit the static, and if it saves, that is just terrible. Oh, God.
What
It's
saves you
half
need to
bad if
make?
It saves. It's a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. Is it a shape changer?
It is not a shape changer. And it fails.
Fails it. 13 radiant damage.
Cool. Okay. Anything else from you?
Actually, sorry, to be fair, the damage, it takes it when it starts his turn in that area.
Okay. Well, it's about to. Anything else from you?
No.
The ascetic wheels about and starts to, it was undulating movements, begins to move away from you at speed, leaving you drifting. The engine broken. Where are we? Hold on. Let's not go have this. Far too happy. So, you have survived barely the attack, but at what cost? Your ship you've only had for a day now seems to have been disabled. You're drifting in the middle of space. This villain clearly knows your name and your objectives and has declared themselves to be an ally of the Xyrixian Empire, and now after a tussle has flown away. And Commodore Crux, once the coast is clear, rushing to enter the ship, shouting something about great concern for Bones down below after the Jammer Scream attack. We will find out what happens next time. But is there anything that anyone would like to do or say in the immediate aftermath of this attack? No.
I would probably throw a heal towards Balthazar if I have any left. You left me one. Oh, good.
I did leave you one.
I'm quite all right by now, I think.
You sure you don't want a topping up?
I mean, I won't say no to it if you feel like it's wise, but it might be more useful in a bind. We find ourselves in one, and we might soon enough.
All right. Well, you hold on to your knickers. I'm gonna go check on the bones.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Then we will pick up next time and see what happens next on Starlight Brigade Adventures in Wildspace. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.